Good evening and welcome to Jen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors. I'm your host, Jen Cares, and the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. As always, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in on tonight. Thank you so much to everyone that watches, that comes back to watch, that shares, that comments, that likes, that hearts. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I truly, truly thank you all so very much. Want to give a special thanks to Maurice Williams, who joined us last week for our Born with Purpose. That was a good one. This whole month has really, really been good. And I'm so excited for the village that's been coming together to help us to do what it is that we do. It's been some good conversations, and we are all about good conversations over here at Jen Cares, right? So tonight concludes our It Takes a Village series. But know that beyond today, it still takes a village. And whatever it is you're doing to help, we appreciate you. Tonight's guest is Mychal Harris. He is the founder of Project Hope. I am so excited to have him. So help me welcome Mychal Harris of Project Hope for our Dares Hope episode. Tongue-tied. Woo!
Good evening, everybody.
Good
I
evening.
first cannot make an addendum to your introduction. The
Yes.
organization's name is Hope Project.
And I say Project Hope all the time.
It's
Got
fine.
it. I apologize. Project
There's
Hope.
another Project Hope.
Okay.
There is already a Project Hope out there. So
So your Hope
don't wanna.
Project.
Yes, your Hope
Got
Project.
your Hope Project 215. I got it now. I got it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this evening. So excited to have you. Over here at Jen Cares, we start with the quote of the day, and then we kind of get into the meat of what it is we're going to talk about. Today's quote of the day is, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Desmond Tutu. Again, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. What's your thoughts on that?
Simply put, there is always that dark space that we're always in, but hope brings that notation that this is all over because I see that little bit of light down at the end of the tunnel. So if I keep on pressing toward this darkness, if I keep pressing toward this light that I see, hope. Once I get there, there's so much brightness, so much light.
Yes. And it's so hard. It's not easy. Because sometimes that darkness is overwhelming.
It can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
That's why there is a need for different people in your life that's always that positive reinforcement for you. It's almost over. You're almost there. Let's not give up.
Yes.
There's a little bit more work to do.
Yes.
No, we're not perfect. No, we're not. We're not perfect. But in the end, we're striving for perfection, which is okay. But we always need that person that says, that's not, that accountability. Now you know better. Like let's keep it moving. What are you? Not to down us in the phrase of what are you doing or what are you waiting for, but to let them see I care about you. So I need to know what are you doing? What are you doing? Like why are you still here? Let's go. We have somewhere to go. Because knowing that we can be holding somebody else up because they want to either give something to us or have something that will have something to help us get to our next place. But if we're not pushing or reaching for that hope down there, then we're holding them up and us up in some kind of way.
So good. And we already talking good about how the village, because that's how the village helps us too. Saying, come on, keep going. It's like a coach, the village is like a coach to kind of help us stay on that path. Yes, it does look dark. Yes, it does look glim. Yes, it does get you to be weary, but it just helps us so very much to have others to instill that hope, to let us know that this too shall pass. It won't be like this always. In the morning, it'll be better. by and by, all the things you're saying, things of that sort. In the morning when I rise, hopefully it'll be better. And even if it's not, guess what? I got another chance to get on the right track to make sure we're moving in the right direction.
Indeed.
So good, so good. That's a good one. And it was funny that I found that quote by Desmond Tutu. He was actually the speaker at my undergraduate graduation. And I always laugh when I think of him because he got a couple of closings. We thought he was done and he wasn't done, so we was clapping, thinking he was over. He's ready for it to be over. But he was saying some good information and instilling hope in us.
A black preacher.
Huh? Oh,
yeah. Probably a black preacher.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. We were ready to go. But he was like, no, I got some more. And I appreciated, that he was sharing his heart because, again, he was trying to instill hope in us as we were leaving undergraduate and ready to really pursue the workforce. So shout out to Desmond Tutu. All right, let's get started. As always, chosen friends, again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I like that you like, I like that you heart, I like that you share, I like that you comment and engage with us. So I have some questions, but if you have any questions or any comments and topics and things that relates to tonight's topic or something you want to help us expound on and things of that sort, be sure to drop your comments below. We encourage you to engage in this conversation because, it gets good, but we want you to be a part too. So first, Mychal, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Mychal Harris?
Mychal Harris is a son, a godfather, a husband. Can't forget that one. I am a husband. I am an educator by trade, youth and young adult activist by passion and aspiration. I am a brother. I am a friend. I am a confidant. I am anything that you need me to be. Spiritually, I am an elder in the Lord's church. I don't lead with that, but that I am. That's what that's who I am. I am a believer. I am a lover of God. I am your friend. I'm everybody's friend. People stop to talk to me anywhere they can. So I am that person that has that listening ear.
Yes.
That is me.
I love that. I don't leave in ministry either sometimes because one, I don't want to scare people off. And I kind of want to just give them the love that Jesus gave first, and then anything else can come after that. But really, how can I reach your heart? How can I make a difference in your life? Beyond those titles and things that you get, at the end of the day, I'm still a servant. I'm still somebody that just wants to help somebody else. I love that.
Exactly.
I also love the piece that you said about being a confidant. It's not as common as it should be sometimes because you tell somebody it spreads like wildfire. But in the village, sometimes it's really important to have somebody that you feel that you can go to really talk about people. Let's talk about the process of that. How did that come about? Was it easy being a confidant, or was it a learning process?
It's a learning process. It is very. I find it hard sometimes to be a confidant because it's very easy for me, but I find it very hard to be a confidant to certain people because there's always that how do they know factor when you told me and I was the only one you told. So I had to learn from there that, I'll always be the backtracker in the situation. If you tell me that you don't want this to go anywhere, I'm going to tell you, then it stops with me. Now, if I hear it somewhere else, then that can only mean that two people told, one of two people told, either you or I. And I know I don't talk to as many people. I know a lot of people, but I don't talk to as many people.
Yeah.
And so if I hear it come up again, then I'm going to go to you and I'm going to say, okay, I'm hearing XYZ. Now, I was told by you that you're not going to say anything else or tell anyone else. However, I'm hearing this. Now, I'm coming to you because of what you said. And I want to make sure that you know that if you hear this again, it's not coming from me. And that is the hard part of being a confidant, is setting boundaries with people, not necessarily to, not want to be that confidant, but setting boundaries with them to say, hey, if you're saying this, then it can't go but so far.
Right.
If you're saying that we're the only ones that know, we have to be the only ones that know.
Right.
And then it's, being accountable and saying, before you hear this again, I want you to know that I've told XYZ. And so that's hard. That's the hard part, because not a lot of people are mature enough to handle that piece. And like you said, conversations can go and be like wildfire.
Right.
But that's why it's important to make sure that the village is, I don't want to say small, but when your village is small, you have to make sure like your boundaries are set and say, okay, if I tell this person, then I have to make sure I let them know that I'm telling other people. That way, when I hear this again, or when they hear this again, we all know where this can come from.
Yeah.
So again, being a confidant, and being a confidant is not for everybody. So you have to be mature.
Yes.
And if be mature and explain to people, like if you know you're a talker, you have to tell people, I don't think I'm the one you want to give this information to, because I can talk. And I may at some point forget who I'm talking to, and so you have to, make sure that you're mature enough to be a confidant, and don't. And another thing is not allowing people to make you a confidant when you're not ready, because sometimes we can get into the habit of taking people's information because we're so kind, we're so nice, and we're just so available. People can just begin to dump, but you have to be mature enough to say, hey, I am not that one. And not being nasty about it, but just saying, hey, I'm not the one for this. Being upfront and mature and say, hey, I have a lot of baggage myself. I'm going through a lot of things myself. Please don't give me this.
Yes.
I'm not ready for this. I'm not able to handle this. So if you don't mind telling someone else, I can refer you.
I like that. Knowing when you can take the information and knowing when you can't, and knowing when you shouldn't, and redirecting that person to somebody else in love, saying, I might not be the right person. Maybe you want to tell somebody else. Because if it does come back around, you're in a mess. And even a piece that you said of like going to the person saying, well, I heard X, Y, and Z and things that sometimes can be hard too. Because they may say up and down, I didn't tell that person. Well, somebody else you told and told the masses. And now the masses come back to me because I'm going to play dumb. Like, what? What happened? Because I can't tell the other person's business. Not my business to tell.
And redirecting to other people. My bishop, shout out to him, he taught me that, the power of referral, because we're not always able to handle certain things in certain seasons.
Yes.
And when you know this, I am not the end all to be all, but hey, I know a great counselor. Her name is Jen. Go see her.
Yes.
Or I know a great place that you can go.
Yes.
Boom. Yes. Let me lead you, because right now I am not in the space to do so. And I don't want any blood on my hands, and I don't want any blood on your hands. I don't want you to bleed out.
Right.
from whatever took place in our exchange.
Got it. And that's the part of the village too, where if you can't do it, you know somebody else, so you can connect them with somebody that's good. Now I've done some referrals. Now some of these referrals have come out good, and some of them have come out bad, and I get upset a little bit because my name is on the line. But if I do a referral, I'm trying to get somebody that
is on the line,
going to be of good caliber. If I'm going to do good, I'm going to give you good work. I'm going to give you good feedback. I'm going to give you 100% of me. I need somebody else who's going to give you 100% of them too. I can't send you to somebody that's going to give you 1%. My name is on the line. That's not how I roll. I need people that are really going to be able to be impactful in your life. I have a friend, she was saying she wanted a mentor for her son. I said, all right, I got some people for you. I got some people that I know that's going to go hard and really be there for that young man that wants some support and things of that sort. But am I going to go with somebody that's going to be like, if they wishy-washy with me, how am I going to connect them with somebody else? You got to be about your business all the time.
I'm just saying. And that's great. Because, and people don't really understand that our names hold weight. Your names are currency. And we always want good currency. So you have to have a good name. Names mean things. And when your name is, defamed, that does something to your currency. That does something to your business. That does, your when your name is dragged through the mud, or when your name is said to be bad, that does a lot for somebody. And when you're again like of good caliber, you bring good to the table, and somebody in the back end is dogging you out and saying, "Oh, they ain't nobody. They do X, Y, Z. They're bad at this, bad at that." You're messing up somebody's currency, somebody's income. You've got to have a good name.
And look, this is part of the village talk too, because I'm gonna stay here just a second longer, because I'm trying to say this right and nice. I came in contact with someone recently, and they were telling me about this interaction with this person, and I kind of knew who they was talking about, but I hated to ask who they was talking about because their reputation preceded them. And I said, I hate to ask you this, but who are you talking about? And she said the name. I said, dang on it. I so wish that it wasn't that person. Your name has power. Your name means so much. And if you have a track record for doing bad stuff or not doing good business or not handling things well, sometimes you don't want to be associated with that. But if you are about your business, and again, nobody's perfect. But
we're not.
Go ahead.
We're not, but we strive for that perfection. We strive for doing all things right, treating all people right. We strive for that, and when our name comes up in some mess, it's like, I don't.
I don't like it. I don't like people to put my name in stuff that I wasn't a part of. Come see me. My name is Jen. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Snap, and TikTok. Wherever you want to go, come see me. Because you spread my name out there. It's not good all the time. Because you might come across the wrong person. That is a doctor, They was like, no, that don't sound like that. Just come see me. If you got a problem, we want to be able to be mature. That's in the village too. Sometimes we don't go to each other about things. We spread little wildfires around the world. Go to the people that share those conversations with. That's maturity. That's in the village. Right now we have a high rate of gun violence and things of the sort in the city because we're not really having conversations. We're just trying to handle it a different way. So we're killing with guns, but sometimes there's some people out there killing with our mouths, killing with our actions, and we want to be mindful of that in the village because we're tearing up our village. It's like, come on, let's reason together.
Our village.
So good. So that was a nice intro. what is Hope Project? Tell me what Hope Project is, because this is hope too. Like instilling and showing somebody that there are some people out there that do mean you well. There are some people that are concerned about you. There are some people that love you, care for you, and things of that sort. So how did your nonprofit come about?
So, many years ago, my leader, my bishop, pastor at the time, we were doing. He was in a series of doing a series on passion, and he's like, your passion is not what you do for work. Your passion is not, you know, even your passion isn't even what you do in ministry. Sometimes your passion is outside of the church. Sometimes your passion is, you know, he was going hard on teaching about passion. And I have two great passions. I have two great passions. I have a passion for what I do in the world, which is teach. I have a great passion for teaching. I don't I don't care what age. I have a great passion for teaching. Um, but my patience for teaching is with pre-K. That's what I do, and that's what I say with my teaching. Um, but I'm feeling a tug and a pull to do other things, but we'll talk about that at a later time. However, and I also have a passion for um, youth and young adults who are uh, I don't want to use the word estranged, but who are in the world, who are disconnected from their families and that nature. I don't want to say necessarily homeless because sometimes they're not homeless, but they're
In
out there.
transition.
So,
In transition.
so I'm like, I want to help them, and I have a passion to help them get up on their feet, do turn their lives around and whatever. And so how do I do this? Because I'm a man of faith, but I've been in classes for evangelism, and we want to we don't want to scare these people with church, because these new this new generation, they know already. Some of them already know about church, and they've been broken from church. So I don't want to go in with the churchy mentality. So I stayed away from religious words like faith and outreach. Um, so I'm racking my brain, and I had a dream, and I kept hearing the word hope, 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 boom, hope, and I wanted to offer different ways to help these young people get on their feet, get jobs, get situated, you know, get what they need, have what they need. And, you know, when I'm working, before things are complete, it takes time and, projects and, the projects are processes and whatever. So that's where Hope Project came from. Giving these people hope through their project of their process, and offering different projects, um or excuse me, offering different projects as way of something for them to do to get to where they gotta get to. So that's where Hope Project came from. We are a nonprofit organization that is geared towards giving young people better, getting them off the street, helping them with their not necessarily, and we're not our goal is not, or our focus is not just young people who are in transition, but also young people who are in school who are not getting the grades they need. We That's where we are, young youth and young adults who just need hope. And recently we've changed our focus, and we've changed some things that we are, changed our focus, some things that we're doing for the community. And we've been using this word anchor, um, and because I was reading one day and I just did a study on anchors, and I found out that anchors are used for things to be stable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anchors are a source of stability. The ship will not go off in the ocean if it's anchored
Mm-hmm.
properly. If it has
Mm-hmm.
its anchor, and so we want to be a source of stability we want to help be a source of stability for someone to be not just stable but settled. When you're anchored, you're settled.
Mm-hmm.
You there's people people aren't afraid of the cruise ship when it's anchored, docked, and settled.
Right.
They're not scared. There's no fear of what's going to happen next. We know what's going to happen next. Once we're settled, we're gonna eat. Once we're settled, we're gonna rest. Once we're settled, we'll have peace of mind that nothing's going to happen to me on this on where I am. So that's what we
Right.
wanted to do. That's what we wanted to be for someone. Not just a
Very.
source of hope,
Mm-hmm.
but a source of stability in
Yeah.
their transition, in their process of getting their grades up, in their process of, finding what works for them, and helping them cultivate their gifts, their giftings. We wanted to help them be stable and have
Yeah.
some stability. So we want
Yeah.
to be the anchor of stability and hope in our communities.
Very nice. It's so important to have that stability. I worked in the social service world for some years and still in it essentially. But the piece was trying to find permanency for some of the youth as they come into service, as they come into care. Like, where can they be and they can stay there, they can reside there if they're not going back to their parents, and like how to find that stability for them and how to try to keep as much as you can consistent as was before they did come into services. And you find that it's so important, it's so imperative, because that one change can cause their whole day to shift, their whole life to shift. And you want to be able to be consistent. So, like, the staff is sometimes the most consistent, worker that they'll ever have. Um, Provided that they stay in services and things of that sort. So for the longevity of the case, it's expected or it's hoped that you can keep that one social worker. It doesn't always happen that way, but just trying to keep that consistency. And it's so important because, again, they build relationships, and then if they get separated and it's like that, the one person I did have to go to was no longer there. So being able to have an
Mm-hmm.
organization that is geared towards trying to be that anchor, well, geared towards being that anchor, not trying, you're doing it, geared towards being that anchor to really help stabilize some youth, show them, hey, your grades aren't good. How can we help stabilize these grades and get them to where they should be? And of the other resources that
Yeah,
you're offering, again, hats off. It's commendable. Very commendable. So
thank you.
the services you do is the tutoring. Is there anything else? What was the other services you said you offer?
Um, we right as of right now, we're taking a mid break, to recalibrate these
Mm-hmm.
different services. But we are in the process of creating a curriculum that
Mm-hmm.
can be used for children who struggle with reading.
Mm-hmm. Very
Um,
good.
Reading because I don't. If you didn't know, or I'm pretty sure you do know, but a lot of you who aren't on, if you didn't know that, by the third grade level, if your child is not reading properly, they're automatically stamped for jail. And we want to, in the nutshell, we want to um, reverse those stats. So we're in the process of creating the curriculum for that. We offer, or we have done, showcases, the young artist experience, where we couple different passions and have a artist showcase for these young people to come and put their gift on display, so to speak. Um, the first one we had was poets and painters. So if you want to present some poetry, if you had some art pieces that you've done, bring them and we'll, put you on display and you can, spit your fire, whatever, do that. We had that. We fed the homeless quarterly. We're gonna get back into that. So many things that we did got halted by the pandemic that we were just coming out of. So we're trying to revamp and see what is going to work best for those services and those experiences that we were giving and offering. We want to revamp them and get them back out and rolling as soon as possible. We what else have we done? We've given out book bags. We've done those back to school drives. Come get your pencils, your book bags, your pens. Come get a haircut. We've done those things. One of my when we started and when we started, we did something called drop off, where we gave lunches to the less fortunate down at Love Park.
Very nice.
Awesome experience. I want to do another one, not necessarily virtual one, but a one where we don't have to a social distance drop off. It's my goal by the end of this year to help 21 families to get the essentials that they need for not just food, not just clothes, but whatever it is that you need in your house. It's my goal to help 21 families, being we're in the year 21, get what they need. So that's a goal for the end of this year. So hopefully we can do that. We've been soliciting some help, but haven't gotten any feedback as we would like. So we're going to go back at it. Now that the summer is over, people have vacation, people have done all that they're going to do. School is in session, so you're definitely going to need some essentials. So what can we do to help you and your family?
Yes. I love the pause too, because sometimes in a village you're going so hard and doing so many different things. Sometimes you do have to revamp. Sometimes things do have to change a little bit. You keep them with the passion and the heart, but how can I still reach the masses? How can we still really instill that hope and that anchor and be secure, in that anchor that we're sharing with them to help them to hold on. So that's pretty cool. I love the always giving out to like the less, I don't want to say less fortunate, those that need some help and support. And sometimes they just need to pick me up because you could be having a grand day and somebody giving out a lunch. Like I needed that today.
Hey, I needed that today.
It came right on time, or right somebody just saying that hi, like, hey, there's hope for you. How can I support and help you? What services can I connect you with? Those little things do go a long way. And it was funny because you were sharing how everybody's friend of being nice and saying hi to people. And it's so funny because like I walk around and I be like, hey, how you doing? Or like, hi. And like, you got the mask on, but I'm still like trying to speak to people. And I don't always want to speak back. I said, I'm going to do a challenge one day to see how many people really respond. But, you do come across somebody that does like engage back and it does bring a smile to their face. You can see it in their eyes of somebody saying, stopping to really check on them, stopping just to, connect. And that's so important. And I think the quarantine has also stifled some of our social skills and things of that sort. Some of it wasn't saying hi before these masks, but nevertheless, just trying to stay connected to people and instilling that hope. Yes.
We need it because if anything, the pandemic showed us that we don't have a lot of time. And with the time that we do have with the loved ones that we do have, or not even just our loved ones, but the people that are still present with us, even if we don't know them, we need to tell them, hey, you matter. You matter. Not necessarily, you may not matter to me directly, but you matter. You are a piece of somebody's puzzle. You are a piece of somebody's peace. You are a piece of somebody's stability. You are a piece of somebody's world. And if that piece is missing, their world has just gone topsy-turvy, upside down. And so you need to know that you matter.
Yes. You need to know. And I want all my
So
friends that's listening or that will listen know that you do matter. Like you are making a difference in somebody's life. You are making a difference in my life. And that piece of, we need people. And sometimes we feel like there's some good people, there's some bad people, there's some shady people. But even in the bad people, or if the people that maybe rub you the wrong way, the Bible say iron sharpens iron. So therefore, some people sometimes are to make us stronger too. Because how can I respond better? How can I still love this person that's getting on my nerves? Or how can I excuse myself and things like that? But it's always helping us to be a better version of ourselves. And I try to be kind because we all have gone through some things. We all are going through some things. And sometimes it could be an off day that you have. So try to offer a little extra patience, a little extra kindness, a little extra love, a little extra hope. Because that little bit that you may give can go a long way, which segues into something that you often say, a little hope goes a long way.
yes,
How much is a little, though? Let's talk about how much is a little.
However much you have to give. Because for some people, it's not a lot.
Yes.
For some people, it's this much. It's that much. For some people, they got a lot. They got a lot to give.
Yes.
And so, but we don't want to rob them of their lot. So however much you have, you have to understand that goes a long way. And you may not feel it at the moment, but when what you've been wanting, what you've been desiring, when what you've been given comes, and you're able to breathe, you're able to relax in it, you're able to in it, you'll see. I did not give in when the opportunity was presented, and now look where I am. I've come a long way, and somebody's little way is their long way.
Somebody's little way is their long way.
I might not be as far as you think I should be, or I'm not as far as you are, but I am a lot farther in my little way.
Come on.
Than I was
and
yesterday.
Let's stay here for a second too, because sometimes in the village, we'll see somebody be like, that baby needs some help. But if you really knew the mile that they walked before they got to you, what they've been through, they have already come a long way. One, because they're still standing. They're still trying. They're still thriving with the best that they can. And by you giving them some help and some encouragement and some love, instead of saying, you can help them to go a little further. And sometimes we don't always realize the power that our words have.
Jonathan Reynolds has a song. Jonathan Reynolds has a song called "Comparison Kills." We can't. I've learned that, and I'm learning this with the organization. Comparison will kill. If you're looking at people and in perspective to where you are and where you want to be, and you see that they're a lot farther than you'll get caught up in the comparison. Like they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that, and not understanding that, not seeing your milestones, your goals, you'll get caught up in that and totally miss how far you come. Or you'll look at where you are and looking at where somebody else is, and you're looking down on them, not realizing you were once there.
You were once.
Somebody had to you. And so we shouldn't do what was done to us, and we shouldn't look at people as if to say we've come so far when we just ourselves maybe 2 seconds ago.
Maybe 2 seconds ago. How quickly we forget. How quickly. And that's so important in the village of really trying to help somebody else. Is if you're helping in the village, you can't be looking down on other people.
No,
If you're,
and your help
well, let
shouldn't
me take it
be
back. You're looking down to pull them up. You're not looking down to help them stay there.
no, and your help shouldn't be coming. Your help shouldn't come from a place of I gotta help you because helping you makes
Come on.
me look so good.
Yes.
But you should be
Yes.
helping them based upon where you come from. I too was there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to reach down for me, so
Yes.
I'm gonna reach down for you. The
Yes.
reach one, teach one method.
Yes. Yes.
Each one, reach one kind of method. We don't. There's a meme that there's a person, putting money in somebody's bucket and taking a picture of them putting in the money bucket. I don't subscribe to that fully. Like I don't need the world to see that I'm doing this. I don't need social. I don't. However, when people are doing good, I do believe that you should, not necessarily broadcast them, but show that they're doing better things than what the media and the news is out here showing of us. Not necessarily us, but of the world. Like killing and all that stuff. I hate that makes the media first, other than people genuinely wanting to help people.
Yeah.
So I don't subscribe that you should, be out here, cheesing and looking and telling people, look at you, you're giving to the poor. No. However, you should be noted that you're doing good deeds. But we want to reach people. We don't want to, ever go, come on, like no. Hey, you need a hand? Listen, let me talk to you. This is where I was. This is how I got to where I am now.
Yes.
You can do it too.
Yes.
If you need me, not to do it to boast or a stuck up place of you need the clout, you need or you're the end all to be all, not coming from that place, but a genuine place of
genuine place of love.
I really was there.
Yes. Genuine place of love. That's what the village needs. People that are going to do things from a genuine place of love. If you're doing it for clout, if you're doing it to be seen, if you're doing it to say she did that or whatever it is, you want to come from a genuine place of love. Because the people who you're helping are going to know whether or not it's genuine or not. Now they'll take it if they need it, but they'll know whether or not you want it. They're not dumb. We're not dumb. We know when somebody's trying to get over on us. They're the same as us. Everybody's the same. We're just in different situations, different lanes of life.
Indeed.
Genuine place of love.
Indeed.
A little bit goes a long way. And you have to know when you are pouring out too much, when you are pouring out just enough. You'll know, how much you should give, how much you shouldn't give, and things of that sort, because you'll learn. Like, there are some people that will try to get over on you, but there are some people that sincerely and genuinely can use the support. And you'd be surprised how that one support you give or that boost you give inspires them to go off and do amazing things beyond that. And then they come back. It's almost like the one that came back and say, thank you. Like, no, you really helped me out. And because of your help, I was able to do this. I was able to do that. I was able to explore this. I was able to say no to that. Things of that sort. So that little bit that you do does inspire people and takes them so, so very far. It's so important. So you said this came about because of a passion to be able to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like some of the things you're doing is based off like what you've seen in childhood? Like, why was this a passion of yours? What was it that stood out to you that said, hey, I feel like I can help them and I want to help
them? Absolutely. Growing up, you see a lot of things, and certain things were not necessarily directed. I directly didn't have, but when you grow, you see things that people don't often have. When you want to give it to them or when you want to help them, you yourself don't have it. So I wanted to be put in a position to not necessarily to be the one to have it, but be a resource to help them find it. Knowing that, again, that going back to the power of referral. I may not have it in my hands, but I know where you can get it. And I'm
Yes.
of age, and I'm of an age where I can voice and that I can help you. Because when I was younger, again, not saying that I was somebody who was in transition, but being young, you see a lot of things in your community. You see a lot of you see a lot.
Right.
And you'll go to school and your friends don't have lunch. You'll go to school and see somebody who needs an extra whatever. You'll go to school and see somebody, and on your way to school, you'll see somebody, digging through the trash, and you're like, man.
Yeah.
So, seeing it and wanting to have our city be a better place, passion.
Yes.
And it wasn't necessarily, and I've always been, someone who wants to help. And I've always been the one to call on to help put something together. Can you help me put this together? Can you help me, take this somewhere? Can you help me?
Yes.
So again, putting those things together. And I neglected to mention, HOPE also is an acronym. It stands for helping others purpose, healing others purpose every day. And a way of healing to heal someone is to help them. So
HOPE, healing
others purpose every day.
Very nice. Every day, not just Mondays.
Not just Mondays, not just Tuesdays, and
for
the Christian, not just Sundays, because there are people who hurt. Someone's hurting every day.
Every day.
Someone's confused about what their purpose is every day.
Yes.
So we have no days off.
I love it. And it's so needed every day. Every day we want to be able to show hope. Every day we want somebody to be healed. Every day we want somebody to overcome. Every day we want somebody to persevere. Every day we want somebody to know that they can make it. Because it'd be just their day that we slip up. It's like, you know what? I can't do it no more. So it's no days off sometimes being in a village. It's no days off. And it gets overwhelming. I mean, you take some breaks as you need it, or you put things in place, or you connect them and things of that sort. And your arms can go but so far. But, being that consistent person, you'd be surprised the impact and the grand gestures that small thing is to you is for them. So again, that lunch, like, I got lunch for you today. What? You must have knew I needed some help today. And it's a transition is different for everybody, So transition, I might be doing real well, and then a bill hits me the left, and I wasn't ready for it. That's a different transition. Even if it helps,
That's a different transition. Had one of them yesterday.
It's a struggle sometimes, Because every time you're taking one step forward, you feel like something hit you, it takes you 2 steps back. So that's a different transition. So when you have somebody that say, hey, you can make it. Hey, how can I help you? Hey, I just learned about this resource, and they don't even know what you're going through in your transition. And that resource that they have is like, ding, 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 just what you needed. Amazingness of how life works. But guess what? We have to open up our mouths and say what's going on. Now, God is amazing that you could keep quiet about stuff and somebody come along and it just be just what you needed to hear. But sometimes it's good to really communicate because you never know. I shared with somebody I was interested in something and it wasn't an opportunity at that time. But then some time later when something was available, they remembered what my mouth said. what she said out of her lips. They knew, hey, Jennifer's interested. Let me reach out to her. They reached out. They say, hey, are you interested? I am. Why? Because I vocalized that I was. And it's sometimes in random conversations that something could come up, and you be surprised who's listening. You be happy that they are listening, and then excited when it does come to fruition because
exactly. And I don't know how many believers you have watching, but the Bible is very clear that life and death lie in the power of the tongue. And also, whatever you ask in my name, asking involves the enunciation of a request.
Yes.
And you have to open up your mouth in order to enunciate the request.
Yes.
And life and death, needs are a part of life. I have this need. If you know of anybody who is offering XYZ, please remember me.
Yeah.
Boom. It's out there now.
Hold on,
it's
pause.
Out there now.
I got one. If you know anybody that's offering $1 million, $500,000, $2,000, can y'all send them my way? I mean, I got some things that I can work on. Things that is in the power of the tongue. And as funny as that sounds of saying that, it's our faith. And sometimes you never know who's listening. You never know who knows who. And that's what I'm saying. Whatever it is, you just got to put it out there.
And I believe that by the end of this conversation, or in not too many days hence, the request that you just uttered out of your mouth, you'll have.
Yes. Now, I'm not going to negate that $1 million. I'm going to take that. But God, whatever ways. And let's also talk about how sometimes, you might say one thing, but it comes a different way. So sometimes it's connections to people, it's connections to resources that you need. And by you speaking up and saying, like, there's a need, they're like, hey, well, how can we connect? Well, we got this building. We got this program. We got this funds for this grant. Are you interested in it? So it's different ways that it comes back. So don't get so caught up in, I asked for bam, 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 and it comes back like bazam. Take that, because you never know what that leads to. You do eventually get to that bam, 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 or it might even blow your mind because it was more than you expected, better than what you expected. You didn't even know all the customizations that it had that fit you perfectly, but you were stuck on bam, 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 bam. So be open to the opportunities that door will open that goes beyond what your list said.
Exactly. 100%.
So good. I love it. But again, you got to speak these things. You got to reach out and ask for help. I never forget my pastor said
those things that are not.
Yeah, and you got to ask for that help. My pastor preached on, or not preached, but I mean, he preached it, and he says it like a drowning person doesn't care who saves them. They just want somebody to save them. But you got to scream out for help, because nobody knows you're drowning if you're not saying anything. They think you're playing in the water. But if you're hollering out, like, wait, what's going on? Let's go help this person. And again, you never know what the help will look like. But you got to speak it. Let's talk about when people are nervous and ashamed to speak it. What supports or what encouragement will you give somebody that wants to say, I mean, I would ask, but what are they going to think of me? What are they going to say about me? What support and words of wisdom would you give that person?
We've all been there. For better words, all have sinned. We all have been in a place that was undesirable. Yes. And I'm no better than you for having whatever need you have than you are of me. And so fear not. I myself have been in a place of need and, been ashamed. Like, I don't know if they'll treat me different after I ask them this. But eventually you'll get tired of seeing what you need somewhere else.
Yes.
And not necessarily with you. Because you'll get to a place of, you know what? I just gotta, just
Yeah. Yes.
because if you really need what it is that you need, nothing will
Nothing.
I mean nothing will get in your way of getting that need met.
Mhm. Yes.
And I too have been because sometimes it can be pride. I've been a product of pride,
Mm-hmm.
and it has not gotten me far.
Mm-hmm.
So have to let your pride down, have to put your guard down, and you have to also realize that some of your needs are not necessarily all about you.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to be willing to sacrifice the little bit of pride that you have, sacrifice the little bit of anxiety that you have to get that need met to help someone else. It could be
Mm.
your children, it could be your spouse, it could be your mother, your father. But if you don't break that cycle and
Yes. Yes.
announce that you're in need, then you're holding
Right.
someone else hostage of
Mm.
their needs.
Right. And sometimes it comes from random conversations. I was talking to a young lady some years ago. She was in the process of trying to adopt her grandson. And we got to talking, or she was telling about it. I was like, oh, well, you need this service, and you need that, and you need da 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 da. Didn't know I worked in that field. Didn't know I knew those resources. And you never know who you're talking to and the connections that they even have by you simply having a conversation. And then you're like, well, this is happening. No, this is how it's supposed to go and things of that sort. So you
Mm-hmm.
never know. And sometimes, yes, you live and learn of who you can share with, but sometimes you just feel like, I want to talk about this, but I don't know if I really should talk about this. But you kind of just throw some things out, like, I got a friend that's going through X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to support. Do you have any supports? And they'll give you some resources and things of that sort too. So sometimes that pride, throw it on somebody else. I have a friend that really needs some support with
Mm-hmm.
X, Y, and Z. How can I help them? Things of that sort. And a lot of these programs that they have are anonymous. During the pandemic, they had a lot of places, and they still have that give away free food. It's been happening prior
Mm-hmm.
to the pandemic, really. But they have different locations that are doing that. And I said, I gotta stop playing games to go get me a free car and the eggs and a gallon of milk, because milk is expensive in the grocery store. It ain't about pride at the end of the day. If
Mm-hmm.
you need it,
There
go and get
is.
it. And if you can get milk, eggs, some cheese, whatever else they offering, that makes your grocery bill cheaper if you're not getting food stamps and things. So you utilize your resources. Free is not bad. It still works,
No, it's not.
Mm.
Because free is always for me.
Yes. Wait, not always for me. It depends. Because sometimes free ain't free. But some
Sometimes
free.
it's not. But if it's the free that I am thinking of, and it's the free that's on my mind, it's
Yes,
always for
yes,
me.
yes,
Now
yes.
I am not about to be in no it's gonna be free, meaning free of strings, free
Yes,
of my personal money,
yes, yes,
free.
yes, yes,
And if that's that free, then it's certainly for me.
yeah. And
Now I
that's a
don't do
good thing.
free with strings.
And when we talking about free, guess what? Somebody sharing resources or knowledge to help connect you, that's free too. That I've gone to school, I've done years of experience and things of that sort. So the knowledge and things that I have, that's a free for me to give you. It doesn't hurt me to give it to you. And that's that kindness.
Doesn't
That's
cost a
that
thing.
hope that goes a long way. That little bit that you give of, yeah, girl, it's gonna work out. I was in that same situation. I've been homeless before. I really have. I've been trying to buy a house before and it was struggling. I really have. I've been with car trouble before. I really have. So come on, we've been there. We've been through these transitions. I can help you through. On the way to get my car fixed, thinking something that's dying on the way. The guy gave me favor when I got to the car dealership to get another one. I've been there. All that to say that you too can make it. And that's what the village is. Helping you to know I've been there. I've been dirty. I've been in the mud. Somebody helped pull me up. My special self got back down there in there. But then I got back up and I got myself together. And I'm now able to help somebody else. I'm now able to encourage
Absolutely.
somebody else. I'm now able to inspire somebody else. And that's what the village is for. That's why, we did this series to know that you are not alone. We all been there.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not the same there, it's been the same vicinity of knowing that it's not always easy. But guess what? We bounce back. We do make it back. Behind a smile and maybe some tears, but you too can make it. We have made it. We pressing on, friends. We want to keep on going forth, and that which we are here to do, because it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
And conversations like this,
Indeed.
even helps to encourage you of like, Jen, it's not that bad. You can keep on going. Jen, don't give up. You can keep on going. Why? Because he's encouraging me too in this conversation of, remembering what your passion is, remembering what it is that you're fighting for, and remembering what it is that you are here for, remembering the promises that you made to yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
said I'm not going to be in this place again. So I got to do everything to not get in that place again.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes hope. A little bit goes a long way.
Indeed.
Mm. Encouraged, encouraged, encouraged. That's what it's about, friends. We can make it. So it sounds like you're doing some amazing things in the community, Mychal. It sounds like you're going to be bringing some good things. This reading, I feel like I talked about that on a previous episode this month, or either way, I always talk about the importance of it. And sometimes people are not knowing about that fine print, that'll get you over. Or you have somebody else reading, and they are telling you their interpretation of it. So really knowing how to do some things for yourself.
Yeah.
And in the village, there's some
Absolutely.
people that want to teach you how to read. There's some people that want to
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to do math. There's some people that want to teach you what you don't know. And some of these things are free. They have some free programs, educational programs that we aren't taking advantage of. I went through a certification for a women's entrepreneurship program. It was like 6 months. It was a free program, but it was so rewarding to meet other people that are doing the same thing I'm doing. One, to get some hope that, hey, if I'm doing it, they doing it, we can work it out together. You made some friendships from it and things of that sort. And when you're done, you're like, hey, that's something else under my belt to say I'm, trying to invest in me, trying to be the best version of me. So reach out and find some
Absolutely.
free programs. And these are some
Absolutely.
programs here. He's trying to help us learn how to read. If you don't know how to read, somebody that don't know how to read, send them over there to Hope Project. He's going to help them. If they need some hope
Absolutely.
in an anchor, send them over to Hope Project. He's going to help anchor them. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right. And this is why I work in the field that I work in, because I want to get them and allow them to get a hold of the passion for learning early.
Yes.
Because there's studies that show that more people are likely to go on and graduate college if they have a early childhood foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me rephrase that: a quality early
Mm.
childhood
Yes.
foundation. Don't just be sending your kids to to the to the child care down the street. Do your research.
Yes.
Find out who's really bringing quality,
Yes.
because and know the difference between quality and garbage. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to do a little bit more digging.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure who's on here, who's like, but stars don't mean anything, because the four
Mm.
star centers are garbage. Some of the 4-star centers can be garbage, and these 1, 2-star centers will bring the quality. They just haven't had the consistent staff that they need yet.
Mm.
So do
Come
your
on.
research. But that's why I do what I do, and I'm working because I want people, especially our young people, to have that
Yes.
that drive, that passion. And because when they have it, nothing can stop them. No circumstances can hinder them when their mind is sharp, and they have that space. Nothing. I mean, yes, bumps and little things can get them off the track, but that early childhood piece is so vital,
Yes.
and it'll start their passion for learning, exploring, doing things on their own. It'll spark that.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when they're in regular school, kids are going to be kids, but
Mm-hmm.
them that had that foundation will always come back to it, do what they
Yes.
need to get done, and and it's I'm not just talking trash. Studies, there have been lots of studies
Yes.
to show
Mm-hmm.
this, that there are children, not not just of color, but children who have had a foundation and have graduated. They go on graduates. They go on and do great things. They're not just basketball players. They're not just, but your lawyers, your doctors, you know, philanthropists, all these great other things aside from entertainment have graduated pre-K, and they've gone through, they've gone through an infant toddler class. They've gone through a preschool class. They've graduated pre-K. They've gone to kindergarten, and so
Yes. I
and
like
then
to.
and then there are
Good.
the few who need extra help
Mm-hmm.
in that area of reading, in that
Mm-hmm.
area of arithmetic, and
Yes.
so that's why we're doing we're going to offer this piece, because if you can once you can read, once you can comprehend, everything you do, every other subject is excuse me, every other subject falls right in line.
Mm-hmm.
Once you can read and comprehend,
Yep.
you'll do math better. Once you can read and comprehend, you can do science better. Once you read and comprehend, you can play sports better. Once you read and
Yes.
comprehend, you
Yes.
can cook better. Once you read and comprehend, you can read music and sing better. You can,
You can drive better.
everything.
Come
You
on.
can drive better.
Yes. So good
So
and so true.
it's
That small
all
seed goes
connected
a
into
long
that
way.
reading comprehension.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. I also like you said of like teaching them when they're young. It's almost like a movie. You're watching a movie, and how it starts, it lets you know how you want to end it. I always think of Stomp the Yard when it first came out. I went to the movies to see it, and they came in dancing, dun 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 dun. I was like, yeah, what they doing? This is really good, and that's how you have to grab them because they're sponges at that young age, and once you catch them. They're like, oh, this is fun. This is good. This is something that's helping me. And also, again, as you said, doing your research because sometimes your child could be too smart to be in a program that they're in. So where can they go to get those things that's really going to challenge them? You want to make sure that they are getting the pieces that they know. We always talk about therapy over here, and I even share when you're getting a therapist, really do your research. That's the same thing about your education. That's the same thing about choosing the people to be a part of your village. Do your research. Is this person going to help me? Are they going to add to my life? Are they going to multiply to my life? If they subtract, then I was just telling somebody this other day. The only thing they should be subtracting is the things that I need to do better with. The things to help me to still be better. But if they're taking things from me that's really helping me to be
Mm-hmm.
the best version of me, that's not somebody we need. So really do your
I
research
don't need them.
on whatever it is that you're trying to engage in so that you make sure that you're making good, solid connections with good, solid people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, so good, so good. So you share with us what Hope Project has coming forward. People can support and follow you. I did tag you in the post and things of that sort. So y'all be sure to check out Hope Project because they're doing some amazing things of helping and anchoring and showing an anchor to those that need it. And guess what? Even us, sometimes we need that anchor too. So you be sure to check in to see how you could be anchored too and get your hope strengthened. Mychal, what's something that you want us to walk away with?
Um, what we start with, a little bit of hope, it goes a long way, and um, a little bit of hope, putting a little bit of hope in something can make the outcome really, really big. Um, I don't, I don't lead in with these types of scriptures, but if you have the faith, the size of a mustard seed, you can tell this mountain to be.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Wait a minute. Faith of a mustard seed. You can tell the mountain to be removed, and it will move, but you gotta speak it. Hold on, he's coming back. Uh-oh. Friends, a little bit of hope goes a long way. It's all we're sharing tonight. Not always sharing tonight, but that's one of the big pieces, knowing that a little bit of hope goes a long way. To be able to encourage someone, to help them along the way, to help them be the best version of themselves. It is so truly, truly, truly important. And we're so grateful for Mychal coming on tonight to share those pieces with us. Yep, to share those pieces with us. It looks like he's coming back in a moment, but I do appreciate him for joining us on tonight, sharing with us about the whole project. We talked about being a confidant and how that is something that's really, really big. It seems small, but it's so big. Being a confidant means that somebody can come to you and tell you something and the whole world won't know. Can you do that? We need those people in the village. We need those people that people feel like they could come to talk to about what's going on in their lives. Can you be that? Can you do that? Are you a part of the village to really help somebody to pull them up out of the dirt that they're in? Because guess what? We too was there. Some of us are still there and still moving around, functioning very well. But we want to be able to help others to know that even in dirt, even in mess, we're all still making it. The flowers live and thrive in the dirt, but guess what? They're still making it. So we're all together in the dirt, all together trying to make the best that we can of how life does go. I do appreciate you all for joining us. Not sure what happened, Hope Project. You could sure join back in. He's going to give us his closing remarks. I feel like I have him back again. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah,
But
so
anyway,
give us your closing remarks. Go ahead.
So, remembering that not everything will start big, but once you put the little bit of hope, the little bit of faith, the little bit of yourself, the little bit of encouragement, the little bit of anything into whatever you're trying to do, it can go big and it can go far. And remembering that it does take a village, not just to raise a child, but it takes a village to maintain you. It takes a village to maintain your peace. It takes a village to maintain your joy, your health, yourself, anything. So find you a village that wants you. Find you a village that needs you. Find you a village that cares for you, and be accountable for that village and to that village.
Yes. And I just want to add on here that guess what? That village does not have to be a gazillion people. Sometimes that's too many. It does not have to be a gazillion people. Sometimes you can have one good solid person, 2, 3, maybe 4, but you don't need that many. And know that everybody, fulfills a different role. So some people can help for this part, but somebody else can help with the back part of it, knowing that it does not take a lot of people. You just being confident in who you have and knowing that you got some good people. And you make sure that you're a good person too. Because we can't be wanting other people to be good and we got some stuff going on ourselves. Let the church say amen. Amen.
Amen.
So again, thank you so very much for joining us on tonight, Mychal. Y'all be sure to reach out to and connect with to see what they're doing in the World Hope Project. They're doing some amazing things. Again, I truly, truly do thank you for joining us on tonight. And I wish you a great, great evening.
Indeed. Right.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. Awesome. So that was Mychal Harris of Project Hope. Because guess what, friends? There is hope. So good. As always, I do just thank you again for joining us, for tuning in, for sharing your thoughts and things or just thinking. Because if you didn't put a comment, sometimes it just causes you to think. So again, we do appreciate each and every one of you for joining us on tonight. I want to thank you again to Mychal. Don't forget our quote of the day. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. And that is by Desmond Tutu. Guess what? Even in all the darkness, there's hope. NDRE wrote a song, There's Hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. Doesn't cost a thing to laugh. Better thank God for that. Those little things, those smiling, even in the midst of the darkness, like, it's all right, I'm going to make it through. Why? Because I've been through some things and I survived those other things before. So that means I can make it through. We can make it through, friends, and we will. We shall. We will. So be sure to join us next month. We're actually going to take a week off because of the holiday. But next month, we will have our September series, A Different World. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I have some friends coming from Philadelphia Technician Training Institute because guess what? Everybody doesn't go to college. So I want to explore some tech schools and things of that sort to share with us some programs that we can do. And guess what? All ages can attend. Got to get my life together. All ages can attend. So if you're interested, be sure to tune in. If you know somebody that will benefit from a tech training program, have them tune in as well. It's going to be amazing. Then I have some friends for Greek life to share about fraternities and sororities, to share their experience. Why? Because it's a different world. And if y'all don't know, that is really my favorite show. I was watching it today. So A Different World, they talked about, they did go to college, but some of them struggled in college. Someone wasn't really interested in college. And guess what? Again, everybody doesn't have to go to college. And then the Greek life, sororities and fraternities, you can learn about the different things as it relates to them. If you're interested, because if you are in college or in grad school, you can join and you can find out those steps to do that. And then to close us out, I'm going to have Dr. Cynthia Chestnut for Culture Shock. It's been a while since we've had a full episode on mental health. And over here, we are all about mental wellness. And we all need some mental healing from time to time. So again, we're taking off on next Monday. But we will be back on Monday, September 13th, with our A Different World series. So be sure to join us as we kick off on Monday, September 13th. That is everything I have for you tonight. I do thank you all so very much for joining us. I love and appreciate you all. Also want to say thank you to Kids in the Hood, Inc. It's a nonprofit organization that had me this weekend. I went and spoke to some amazing young people about self-care, self-love, and mental health. And it was great. I love most that at the end of the day, they were saying, like, what did you learn? What did you take back? Some people are saying self-care and how it's important, self-love and how it's important. Guess what? Those babies were listening. And guess what? We always want to stay engaged. We want to meet the heart of the people. We want to meet the need of the people. We want to make a difference with the people. And that's what we're doing over here. We're trying to do. My friends were telling me, you're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm truly, truly grateful to be able to do it. So thank you all so very much for joining us. I love you all for real. Until next time.